This is the new Lexus GX 550, and that is Arizona, and that is a 5'1" Jill Simonello. And hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus HV Talk. We're here, like I said, in Arizona, driving a new GX 550. We'll do a video just on this one, walking this around. We'll do driving press, that kind of stuff in this video. Also do another video on the off-road kind of version, the trail sport kind of version. Over trail version. I keep getting that name wrong. We'll have another video on the over trail off-roading stuff. So this is the new GX 550. Very similar styling cues as you would with the new Land Cruiser that's coming out. Same idea, very boxy, very boxy.
Yeah, well, you know, one of the interesting things that they did with this vehicle is they spent a lot of time during the presentation this morning talking about visibility. And as the 5-foot wonder, I certainly appreciate that. I haven't driven it yet. Tim has been hogging the wheel, but I will have driving impressions later, I swear. But one of the things that they did is they talk about this hood scoop here and how they did that on purpose so that you have good visibility out the front. But then you have this bump up here, which is literally right over your tire track. So you have a very good idea of where your tires are going and where your tires are hitting in an off-road situation. But you have this little scoop right here so that you have good visibility. Now, the other thing they've done, and we'll show this when we go into the inside, is they've made a very horizontal dash cluster area so that, again, lowering the belt line, making good visibility out of all the windows. They also made that A-pillar a little bit more upright, which thins that out a little bit so that it doesn't create a huge blind spot. So they really did a lot with the exterior and interior design to focus on visibility, and you know, not only for on-road situations, but more specifically for when you are taking this in an off-road situation, and probably for somebody who's 5 feet tall. So stay tuned later in the video when I actually get to drive the vehicle and I can share my driving impressions on if that actually worked.
It does definitely have an FJ Cruiser kind of vibe.
Yep.
As she pointed out, that big mirror, plus also the 8-pillar of the way. It's almost Wrangler-ish in the overall look to it as you walk up to it. It's not as forward as a Wrangler is, or not Ford Wrangler, but Jeep Wrangler is. But it just has that feel to me. And
Ford Bronco Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, you have this interesting body lines there too. The second row seating body lines. Now this is a third row, and we'll show you that when we get inside. They have a 2-row and a third row, and this is, as far as we can tell, is the premium plus. It's a base level. They have a premium plus, a luxury, and the over trail.
Right.
And well, they have premium, luxury, over trail, then they have pluses for all this stuff.
Yeah, and then the pluses are the more luxury.
More
versions.
luxury, yes.
And you know, one of the things they did say is, you know, these are going to be standard.
Right.
But when you get into, I think it's the luxury trim, these become, and maybe even the over trail, they become power operated. I forget what they said the trim was, that these are retractable, power operated.
And the other nice part too is on the over trail that you can actually unbolt that and they put rock rail accessories and stuff like that. They have that figured out. We have a double wishbone front suspension. We have the 3.4 liter twin turbo V6, just like out of the Tundra. 350 horsepower, 349 horsepower, I think in that realm, and 400 and I want to say 70. It's a huge increase.
479.
Yeah, it's like 115 foot-pounds more than the outgoing generation. It's quicker, it's faster, it's more responsive. The other generations of V8, I understand reliability V8. I get that idea, people, but this is a much more engaging driving experience. And then we'll come around, got the roof rails on top, it all kind of blends in. This is a Nordic green color too.
Nori.
Nori green.
Nori, so like your sushi paper.
Oh, really?
Nori.
All right, Nori.
Nori.
Yeah.
I like this color. What do you think of this color?
Paper, yeah.
Sushi paper.
I like it a lot. They have this one. They have an earth color, which is a two-tone black and tan. Well, then they have a white, a gray, a silver, and your typical colors.
Like navy blue. But so this is a Lexus color that we've seen before. I've seen this on the RX. I think I've seen it on the NX.
Yeah, I think it's
so
NX too.
This is a color we've seen before. The earth, which is kind of a muddy brown color, I think is an interesting color, and it is making its debut. It's Lexus debut on the GX, and I think you can only get that on the over trail model. Yeah. So whether or not they roll that out to other Lexi, I don't know, but it is debuting on the GX with the over trail trim.
So a couple things in the back we'll talk about. We have this higher brake rail, and the idea here is off-roading. You can see the brake lights a lot better. I'm a big fan of that. We have this, it looks like a diaper, but actually it's a covering for the tow hitch. I thought it was a diaper. I was like, what is that? Is it a jetpack? Also, could it be a jetpack with like the balloon that pops out with the drag cars? No, it's actually, it covers your tow hitch up to 9,096 or something like that.
9,096 is the max towing.
Max towing, yeah. So
and I feel like the Overtrail might be 9,036 or something like that, but 9,000. I think that's
you're right. It's like
$3,000,
$3,000 more than the outgoing generation. Big difference. We still get body on frame, so that way if you beat up the truck off road, I'm calling this a truck because I mean 9,000 pounds towing, same engine as Tundra, body on frame. It's kind of a weird situation, but if you hit anything off road, you're hitting the frame, not any unibody construction. And then this window does pop open, which is nice because if you've had dogs or groceries, you can get in there and grab that stuff easily without having to do the whole liftgate. There is a thing to do liftgate like this for leg.
I don't think this has the power lift.
No, I think this is the premium, so it's not the same
so it
stuff.
Doesn't have the kick activation.
But this is your third row, and
it does have the power.
Luckily, we have the 5-foot Wonder.
It does have the power. So this should have the kick activation, but you know, as it all goes, it's like
Yes, yes. Where is it? Yes. Where's the magical kick thing?
Where is that? Yeah. So one thing I wanted to point out when you were talking about body on frame construction is the idea of this is the only competitor that they're targeting, like in their segment, because they said Mercedes GLE, Land Rover Defender, and the BMW X5 and X7 is the competitive set for this vehicle, and this is the only body on frame vehicle. Now,
which I would, the thing is, I would give them Defender all day long. The BMW, I'm not sold on. Mercedes-Benz GLE.
On-road, I can see it, but like none of those vehicles except for the Defender are going to go off-road. Right. Let's be clear. But it was funny because we were talking about how much cargo space there is like in behind the third row, and yeah, like, come on, like I don't like. I'm not going to fit back here. Like this is. Don't shut this, because like I'm like not like my hips are wider than this, and I don't have wide hips.
Right.
I would be like.
And understand that when the seats are down, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of rollerboard room. You have 5 bags, that kind of stuff. But if you're running third rows, you're putting stuff on the roof, or you're getting a little attachment back here, or something like that.
I mean, so let's. Does it? Oh, no. There we go. Okay. So this is an annoyance for me in a luxury vehicle. I just want to press it once and have them go down, but you have to hold it for it to go down.
Right,
so I just wanted to give you a quick look of what it looks like. We're just gonna put one down because that took a really long time.
Right. So you don't have a traditional flat floor like you know people talk about dogs getting flat in or whatever. You're still gonna have quite a bit of let's see, my knee is the edge of the bumper and my hips kind of there, so you're gonna have a little bit of a up to put stuff in. And that's primarily a byproduct of having the body on frame. You can't sink down lower.
Well, I will say, for being short though, like it would be very easy. You lift it up and you're just pushing it in. You're not going down, you're not going up too far. But yeah, if you have a dog that you're gonna put back here, you're gonna need a ramp. There's no way they're gonna be able to. Like I have problems hopping in here. Somebody's not gonna be able to jump in this.
Right.
I'm gonna put this back up.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the third row. We'll go second row and we'll go up front.
Okay.
Because I might have to flip this around because the sun is right in the face of all the front of the first row. But
so you want to start in the third row?
Yeah, I want to see if you. Yes, that was completely graceful, absolutely graceful. So here, grab the camera and show our audience the
overall spaciousness. Okay, so
I'm gonna lock you in.
Oh, great! He's locking me in. So I don't do these second row seats slide?
I'll check that right now.
So I have probably like 3 inches between my knee and the back of the seat. I have a decent amount of foot room. I don't know if you can see my feet here. But the one thing that I will point out, and this is a good thing, they only put 2 seats back here. I always hate it when you get a luxury SUV and then they try to cram 3 people back here. You can't even fit 3 of me in some of these spaces. But I will point out, I don't know if you can see this, like my knees do pop up off of the seat. So somebody who's a lot taller than me is probably not going to be comfortable for a long haul because you're not going to have the support for your legs. What I want to see is if Tim can fit back here.
You always do this to me. All right. Let me see. They have a grab. So there's a grab handle here built in, which is nice. And then I have some seat buttons here for. I guess I can put the. Yeah. Let me see that. So that's interesting. So the seats could fold forward in front of me to help me get out, and then there's a button there. Interesting button there. What do you? Can you look at that button?
Oh, is that? Okay, so that's gonna.
So you can raise or lower or the angle.
Recline or angle. All right.
So the handle's nice. That foot in there. Do the knee thing. All right. I'm all of 5'7", 5'8", and no. I'd have to. Well, this is not up, but
yeah. And I hopefully, like, I'm holding the camera, so I apologize. I kind of suck at this.
Ouch. Oh, God.
And you hit your head.
Yeah, this is no go. So even my knees.
And it doesn't, because the I don't know if you can see where his feet are right now, but this latches in, so I'm assuming that means that the second rows do not slide.
No, I don't see the second row sliding at all. So
okay. This is a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, and I would say this is a very occasional use third row. I think it's really a 2-row vehicle.
Yeah, and I mean, I always say I'm the size of an average 10-year-old. I think a 10-year-old is what you're going to want to put back here. You're going to want to put children back here. You really don't want to put an adult back here.
Yeah. Okay, let's
film Tim getting out.
Oh, Jesus. Let's see. Grab.
There's in the roof.
Oh, yeah. Just trying to. My feet are the big problem. All right, foot. Work with me this morning. And foot. Holy cow.
Yeah, see, and I obviously am not going to have like that kind of a problem. Yeah,
you're a lot more limber than I am too. So there you go.
I also I'm the size of somebody who's supposed to be going back here.
Right. Yep. So it does sort of work for that. So
yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and collapse that seat, and we'll move stuff around, get it back in there.
I'm like.
It's on the side. It's like right here.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so what do we got for? We have controls there. The seat seems like this second row is pretty good. I think. I mean, you want to go ahead and model this for us?
Yeah. I mean, okay. So we had to take the bar out. So
right. So yeah.
Pay no attention to the bar at my feet. And this is set up for Tim's driving position. And you are 5'8", 5'9". So that's set up for Tim's driving position. And I have, I would say, probably a solid 8 inches between my knee and the back of the seat. And this is padded. So like if somebody was taller and they put their knees up against here, like it wouldn't hurt. A lot of automakers will make hard plastic back here, and then you're like it gives you bruises on your knees.
It's pros and cons. So like I'm a parent with kids, and so you want the hard plastic behind you because the kids always kick your seat. But if you have a situation where you have adults that can't quite fit in there, it's going to hurt their knees. So it's a pro and con. I like them because I had, again, kids between probably 4 to 10 will do that stuff and drive you nuts. But yeah,
so over the age of 10, this is what you want. I'm going to point out you do have air vents in the ceiling, so you can see it there, and you have temperature controls. So in addition to being able to control the airflow, you can control the temperature, the mode, and you can turn it off. So you can have separate controls back here, and then you have the outboard heated seats in addition to USB-C charge ports. But I mean, again, this bar aside, I feel like I have.
And that bar goes in the third row, and we had to get it out to put the 3 row seats down.
We'll do that. So, but I mean, talking about my size, so I wear a size 5 women's shoe. These are actually size 1 little kids. But I mean, so you see, like, I have plenty of room. Somebody with bigger feet is probably, their feet are going to get stuck under here a little bit. Here. So you've got bigger feet than I do. I'm gonna put Tim in the second row. Switch.
I like the grab handle. Like it's like I can go and grab this, get myself in. A lot of times people talk about grab handles up here, and I just that doesn't work for me at all. I've never liked that. That to me is for like hanging shirts. That's what I use that for.
Hanging shirts, or it's like when you're off road and.
Yeah, if you're off road like this, you want to hold on like this. That's fine. But getting in, this is a much easier position to get in. I fit fine behind myself, and I think I got plenty of shoulder room and hip room.
What size are your shoes?
These boots are about size 10.
Okay.
So
is that an average size? I have no idea.
Most guys are between 9 to 10, 9 to 11. I probably have smaller feet on the size of the guys. Some guys get bigger feet.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I got plenty of headroom. Shoulder room's fine. I could sit in here and I could ride for sure.
Okay. How is the seat comfort? I mean, obviously you can't tell when you're just sitting in
Right.
it.
Yeah. No, I think the seats are pretty good. I drove out, so I thought the seat about half an hour, so the seats are fairly comfortable for me. I was gonna we're gonna do Jill driving because visibility was such a huge part of the presentation, and I want to make sure that if Jill can fit, most everyone else can fit. All right.
I am the 5th percentile
Right.
female. I am the lowest common denominator that most automakers design for.
Right. So if Jill's sitting in there and she can see everything fine, then that means everybody else is seeing fine. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I like how there's hard plastic here where you want it, and some softer leather here, like soft touch materials. You want this because you want to be able to wipe it off easily. People always complain about cheap plastic, but sometimes cheap plastic's nice for just cleaning.
Well, and this I wouldn't say is cheap plastic. Like this has it's
Right,
like
it's got
kind of
texture to it,
rubberized,
yeah.
and so I kind of like that.
Yeah, I do too. Big fan. Okay, now up front, I'll start the passenger side because that's where I'm sitting.
Finally.
And then I'll hand it over to Jill to do the behind the driver stuff. So some vents here, big opening vents there as well. The glove box, I have the styling of the doors. You can see that little padded stuff there. Speaker, a little bit of style here. And then the hard plastic, not really hard plastic, but that plastic on top. And then the grab handle here as well.
Before you leave the doors, you know something interesting I just noticed?
What?
That's a real door handle.
Yeah, and the thing is, so, all right, so the Lexus RX 350 has a push for a door handle and like pull twice to get out if you need to
And the
force it
TX
out.
has it as well.
Yes, and this one actually has real grab handles, and on the outside of the door, it's got a real door pull, so it's a little bit different setup. Actually quite a bit different setup. Here we have the mode select in there, some traction control on and off, tow haul mode, because we do have a trailer brake controller right back in there as well. Yep, you want to put on the views. There is our camera view, and we'll get more about this off-roading. They got a lot to share in the off-road mode because they have a multi-train monitor. Look around. We have an interesting USB chargers here, but what's interesting is this just goes up. It doesn't really, I don't know. It's kind of neat having this styling here, but
I
really haven't found a reason. Yeah, and it's not the.
It moves.
Right.
I'm like, I want it to do something.
And it's not the wireless charger. Wireless charger is back here. And then we have the four-wheel drive features. The center locking differential is standard on all GXs. The Overtrail has a different setup. And then we have a center console storage, but they also have a cool box option there as well.
Available, yeah.
So you can get a cool box, which is really handy when you're off-roading for many hours. Put your drinks in there, have nice cool drinks. So that's what's going on there. Some controls here for the sunroof up, open, close, that kind of deal there, and lights. And then, yes.
Sorry, I'm just playing with the camera.
Right, and then this is the Lexus entertainment system, same as Toyota's entertainment system. It's a 14-inch screen, standard across the board, and a 12.3-inch digital screen, which is interesting. I can't see that screen over here. So it's kind of fascinating. It's
Right.
I don't know how fast you're going. I don't, I guess I can't tell. And by the way, if the screen flickers for you, it's the refresh rate of the GoPro camera and the screen. It doesn't flicker in person.
Yeah, so you have this 12.3-inch screen, and they've said it's configurable, but I'm like, all right, what's configurable on this? Okay, I see. Hold to customize. So okay, I guess they said completely configurable, and I'm gonna say this looks a little bit low-techy to me. Even though it's 12.3-inch and it's 4-color, it looks a little low-techy to me. So you can change what's in the middle, you can change what's on the outsides, but I'm gonna say these digital gauges look a little like 2000-ish to me. That's weird to say, 2000-ish. I'm old. Also, I'm gonna point out, this is a luxury vehicle, and this to me doesn't look luxury. But I mean, off-road capable, blah blah blah. These are plastic. And I was gonna say, when we were talking about this area here, when I was pushing on it, like that to me looks a little not luxury as well. So I don't know how I feel about that. And like I said, I want that to do something. But 14 inches, 12.3 inches, you do have some, and this mod has the the eye tracker here, so I think that might mean that it has the like drive assist or whatever.
It's got an advanced ADAS system, so it's not like a semi-autonomous at all, but it's going to see your eyes and if you're taking a break, whatever.
But Lexus does have.
It's called Teammate. They have Lexus Teammate, so.
On the RX, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this doesn't have that, but this has it is going to track your eyes. It does have some semi-autonomous
And you might
stuff.
see some flashing red lights on that, on the screen that you're watching now. That's just the sensors. That's how they pop up.
Yeah, it's like an infrared whatever, so it can, like, if I have my sunglasses on, it can actually track my eyes through my sunglasses. So don't think you're going to fool the system if you put your sunglasses on. All right.
So here, hand me this, because I want to know from your seating position. So you move the seat all the way up, and so the person behind you, of course, is like
leg room,
lounge-like seating. But for you, how's it look? How's it feel?
I mean, I really haven't driven very much yet.
Right, but
you know, I'm still in the adjusting, like the mirrors phase of driving. But I feel like I have some good comfort. You know, I adjusted the lumbar support.
So does the seat go as high as you need to go?
You know, I could probably have it go a couple inches higher, and there's certainly room for that to go a couple of inches higher. But I will say that the way the hood does scoop, it does create some good visibility.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand here, kind of as reference. But this is when I got 1, 2, 3 hands on the screen. You can see quite a bit just sitting here.
And, you know, like they said, what I find interesting, though, is the bumps on the front hoods that line up with the wheels. We talked about it for the exterior.
It's very interesting.
That, like, I can't wait to take this off-road, so stay tuned to next video. I can't wait to take this off-road to see how that really lines up and, like, how the visibility is there. But in my 2 seconds that I've been behind the wheel, so it feels pretty good.
So let's go ahead and go for a drive. But before we do that, I want to ask you one more question.
Okay.
Is the seat do you have the seat maxed out as height?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's maxed out. That's fully height, and you can still move forward. But you have
So let's see how. I love it. It's like beep, beep, beep.
I know, yeah.
It's like slow-moving vehicle ahead. I don't know. So, yeah, I could go forward another, like, 2 or 3 inches. That's too far forward for me.
Because by the way, there's a NHTSA protocol for how far she's got to be between her...
Well, how far you should be.
Yes, right.
And you need 10 inches between this and your breastbone, and I would say that's a solid 12, maybe 13. That seems like a good distance, but you can, you know, it does have the tilt and telescoping wheel. Tilt and I was trying to contract that there. So I tend to like push it as far away as possible, and then, you know, I take it down while I still have visibility of the 12.3-inch multi-information display, but can see like over the wheel. And it looks like this has a head-up display.
Yeah, I didn't see it as a drive-in, but it looks like it's an option in maybe the luxury models. What about your knee room? It looks like you have plenty of knee room.
Plenty
There's
of
no
knee room.
concern there, yeah.
No.
And because they tucked that trailer brake controller up in here, it doesn't hang down and smack your knee like other brake. You know, it's completely out of the way. Yeah,
and I will say sometimes in vehicles, especially larger vehicles, I do have a problem here with like if I would move this forward more. Like very often, like I'll have a problem where I'm like moving my foot, you know, and I'm like hitting the under of the steering column. But you know, I can just make me. Watch out, people in the back. You can have your knees hit. But no, I feel like this is a good distance, and I probably have like 2 or 3 inches between my knee and the steering column and the dash. So. This is good. I tend to have problems in Stellantis vehicles. So like the Ram 1500, but they have adjustable pedals, thumbs up on that. And Nissan vehicles, they do not have adjustable pedals, thumbs down on that. But
in this one, everything's fine, yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and go for a drive and get you some sense behind the wheel. We'll catch up with you guys in just a little bit, give her some time to get some thoughts. Okay, key question with this is how's remote start work? Been a hot topic for Toyota and Lexus fans. So I'm going to use the trick where you press lock, you press lock again, and you hold lock, and it should remote start it. It's a key fob trip with Toyota and Lexus vehicles. There is an app. You have to pay for that service as well, and a key fob, they tell me won't work after a period of time. They're going to phase this trick out, but for now that still works. So you can get the Lexus app, pay for remote start, because you can't actually buy remote start as standalone vehicle, but also product. But also, what's it do when you get in? How does this work? Does it turn the vehicle off? In the Tundra it did. In this one, nope. It is still running with remote start like that. So you don't have to worry about like hopping in, pressing the button again. Just seems like it's duplicating your efforts by doing that. But boom, locked, not locked. Yeah, remote start doesn't have the same issue. Okay, so now we have the 5-foot wonder behind the wheel, who's Mario Andretti over here. But what's your initial thoughts on driving it?
Yeah, no, I mean, my initial thoughts are this is a very smooth operator. You know, the power is fairly smooth. There's a little bit of lag there when I push the pedal all the way to the floor. But it's comfortable, it feels very quiet, it feels very smooth. They did do a good job with the visibility, I can now say that for actual fact. I can see over the dash, I can see over the hood really well, and I love the bump out on the edges because it is really telling me where my wheels are. Even like as I'm driving on the highway, I know I'm not crossing the yellow line because of, you know, where the bump out placement is on the hood line. So I don't know, I feel pretty good, I feel comfortable. You know, the seats feel pretty good. I don't feel too close to the steering wheel. I do feel like the steering is a little bit loose, but that could be a pre-production thing. So I don't know, I mean, overall, like, again, behind the wheel for like 10 minutes now, general first impressions are pretty favorable.
Yeah, I mean, I drove out and it's about half an hour drive and we're on the way back, and I thought it was really good driving position. Visibility was great. You know, it's a body on frame SUV, so it's not going to be as smooth riding as, say, the RX 350 is. It's going to make a difference. Like the RX 350 is going to be smoother, it's going to corner better, and it's going to have better fuel economy. This gets 17 combined, 15 city, 21 highway. So it's not great, but this is more like if you need that body on frame SUV, you need more capability off-road and or wherever you're living, this is where you're gonna get. Where the RX is gonna be more like your Sunshine State, Florida, you know, don't need the off-roading stuff. You're gonna stay on pavement the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a really good mix between comfortable cruiser and off-road capability, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, we haven't driven it off-road yet, but I'm making an assumption. Just gonna make the assumption here. But it has. I like the engine. There, like I said, there's a little bit of.
Right, and keep in mind that's normal mode. There is a sport mode as well, so we could probably tweak that a little bit, but just depending on your driving situation.
I'm like, all right, let's see. How do we?
Does it turn?
Oh yeah. So that is eco mode. We don't want that. Let's go up to sport mode. No,
still there. Yeah.
And I would say it's even worse. It's even worse in sport mode than it was in normal.
All right, there you go. Details on that one.
Don't put the kibosh on sport mode. Leave it in normal. And certainly once the RPMs get higher, I mean, maybe I was just too low in the band.
Yeah, so it's 2,000 to 3,600 RPMs is the max torque. And it may just be that or a shifting issue.
Yeah, and I have a really slow vehicle in front of me, and I can't.
All right. But you can watch other videos. Check them out over here. Website down below as well, pickuptrucktalk.com. We'll do the off-roading in that link to the above as well, so you can see that too. So there you go. There's our thoughts on this new Lexus GX 550. As usual, we will see you down the road.